This is somebody who loves me too.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to BattleHawk Live, the XFL STL talk show. I am the A-Train to Arlington Lane. Yeah, usually you would see my man Dirty, but Dirty is out for this week. And Dirty, you know, we're thinking about you as we do the show this week. So joining me today, and I'm glad to have him. He's one of our best contributors. He is the contributor over at the XFL STL page, and I have with me today Will Freeman. Will, good evening, man.
Good evening, Arlington. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, man. You know, I kind of missed out being here. You know, last week, you know, we didn't have a show, and it's just grateful to be back in the studio.
Yeah, a lot of things were kind of not intertwined last week, unfortunately.
Yeah, and plus it was not a lot of news that was going on either.
Pretty dry. That's the best way I could come up with.
But dry. Even though Dirty is not here tonight, he did get a chance to check out the
Be the Green Ballpark Village.
That's right, and you know what? I was very upset about that, man. I wanted to be there at Ballpark Village because it was at a bigger venue.
Yeah,
you know, and I know lately the last one wasn't so hot, but you know what? It's getting better, and I'm glad they were at a much bigger venue where they got a chance to implement more ideas, and actually what Kurt actually got behind a microphone. And so a lot of people actually got to hear what he had to say, and it was pretty cool.
That was the perfect venue to do it too.
Yeah, and hopefully in the long run, you know, there'll be more venues that they go out to in the St. Louis area where, you know, not just have to be downtown, but they can go. I would like them to go a hole in the walls. You know what I mean? You know, so
yeah, they haven't been to Jefferson County yet.
You know what that means, Kurt? You got to go out to Jeff County, man, at least a couple times.
Arnold would be the perfect location.
But we are here for BattleHawk Live tonight, and a lot of news has dropped. Well, before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and start with you, Will. You had some updates about those that have been invites.
Yeah.
So go ahead about that.
From 2 weeks ago, from my last posting of the update invites for the draft that we know of so far that have been announced on social media, it has been updated a little bit. It's finally on the special teams. 2 kickers were added. And then besides, we already had one Last Chance U star from Netflix, Ron Ali, that was invited a few weeks ago. Then we got Carlos Thompson when he was part of that second group with Indy University in Kansas, which are kind of having problems right now.
Right.
Yeah, their actual new athletic director just stepped down.
That's a shame, you know, when you have something.
And he's a wide
like
receiver. And after that, he went to a local school, Missouri Western in Missouri. And now he's in the wide receiver section and now part of the XFL draft pool. And he is very talented.
Well, I appreciate that very much. So, thank you.
And then
our beloved producer is helping us out with tonight.
With Waters. Yeah. Last hot day in St. Louis.
Yes, it is. And those that are in St. Louis, those that are going to the home opener for the Blues, it's time for a new season already for them, and they're raising the banners tonight.
Yeah. Unfortunately, hockey weather starts tomorrow, so we just miss it by a day.
Just by a day, exactly. You can always call us into the show at 314-920-3736 if you want to chime in.
And one more thing I have to add is that yesterday on Zach Megaburger's Instagram, on his story, it showed him recording something for the XFL, and that has caused some people to think maybe he's one of the other 7 Tier 1 quarterbacks. Because so far we only had Landry Jones, and then a few weeks ago there was that posting that Brandon Silvers was signed to the XFL, and then all of a sudden that just disappeared.
Exactly, and so I'm kind of curious of how all of that is going to translate as we're getting down to we're getting closer. Now we're in October. We have literally
less than 2 weeks. less than 2 weeks.
It's gonna feel like it, but we got 3 months. We got this month, and then the next 3 months, and then of course 2 weeks in February, and we'll be right there, February 8th for the very first game of the XFL, and also one of the crazy things. Right. Speaking of which, there was a guy that was on our Facebook handle that was, giving us some crap about it. I'm sorry, it was a week. We was a week off. All right, 19 weeks, 20 weeks. Hey, we were a week off. All right, so we apologize for that, and we didn't mean to cause harm. We didn't think it was that deep, but I seem to believe that is deep. That people are really getting forward to this XFL season that's coming up in 2020, and so I'm excited about it. And yet, as we getting closer.
Yeah, for what I thought you were mentioning that one guy was asking about shirts. I wasn't on that show, and I looked that guy up. He was from Texas. So I don't know what the heck he was complaining about.
But speaking of our producer giving us some signage, I should say.
Yeah.
But for sure, yeah, Medberger would be nice. He wasn't as great as he was within the Alliance.
And then did he tear an MCL or an ACL? I'm trying to remember what he
did have a major injury. I couldn't remember what it was.
And then Brandon Silvers took over. And then there were some speculation, because a few weeks ago, one of the, as I said the last time I was here, the loosest lips of all the coaches in the XFL, June Jones, and he was asked about Johnny Manziel, and he said that about half of the coaches have him on this list that the coaches considered Tier 1 quarterbacks for the league. So we'll see if that happens.
And no Antonio Brown, folks. You can forget it. Antonio Brown is not getting looked at for the XFL.
Let him finish college taking Western Michigan courses. Leave him there. Leave him there in the educational world for now.
Exactly. So, it would have been something if he was there. But, of course, he has too much. They consider too much baggage for the XFL. And you can see they're trying to keep it clean, keep it cut. And they want to make sure that they have a great league coming up. And they don't want somebody with gimmicks or with baggage as such. All right. Speaking of which, we had a couple of players that got scammed.
Oh yeah.
By they thought it was Eric Galco of Optimum Scouting, and it turned out the scammers were trying to get money off of some of the players that were were trying to get invites from the XFL.
Yeah, actually found out Galco's email actually got hacked. So that's what happened. They were charging players, if I remember paraphrasing what it said, it's like, hey, so you couldn't showcase, but if you want to be part of the draft, pay about, I think it was $150. And even when I saw it, it's like, that doesn't look right.
Even what was almost always hilarious to me was the fact that they said, if you screenshot this, we will ban your invite. That was the most hilarious thing to me. Like, are you going to sit there and tell me I'm going to be banned? That should instantly let you know it was a scam. Plus, you also, to any player that's either watching this show or you following at Alliance to XFL or you following anybody within the XFL community, make sure that you look for grammar errors. You also look for where it was written from. And I think there was another thing I couldn't remember.
Any type of thing that doesn't look right.
Exactly.
And it's kind of like that, hey, the Prince of Matahuti would like to send you money. Please deposit this money or to get this money, that type of
Grammar errors are the biggest thing, and I hate grammar. I hate dealing with people that don't know much about grammar.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's just how I am. I'm a stickler for it. But my thing is that will also help you in the run, especially when you get these emails. Check spam folders too.
Yeah.
They could be going through your spam folder and making it seem like it's legit. So make sure you go through all of that, and then like screenshot them like the players did. Big ups to Malik Duncan, who's a good follow on Twitter. He was the one that posted up about that somebody was trying to scam him for over $150. So they're out there. They're going to do anything in their power to make sure that this league doesn't have any success. Or, of course, they're just doing it because they want money and to try to keep you out from doing what you're really trying to do.
Strange, that's the same amount for most indoor football league tryout costs. For some reason, that caught my eye too. So that's how probably the scammers got the information to make it seem a little bit more legit.
Exactly. Let's move forward a bit. We're going to go back to some BattleHawk news. First off, there was news out of the over at the meet and greet at Ballpark Village that the ticket prices have been announced. And so they're going to do starting prices at $20. That's right, folks. $20 gets you into an XFL game. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, and for those of us who have already taken that season ticket deposit of $50, you already have paid for about half the season already. Just want to put that out there. Using them, if you want to get the $20 seats, I'm hoping to get a little bit more closer. I need to see that seating chart. Hopefully, we get to see that soon.
Yeah, and that is actually coming up next week. Next week, you'll get a chance to actually select your seats. And unfortunately, they won't allow them to get into the venues because some venues won't be ready in time for when the XFL will start. So they'll do them online for you. So that way you could go online, you can select your seat. They will have the seating chart there, and that way you can hopefully, I think they'll do the virtual.
I think so, and they're doing mobile ticketing. That's where the industry's going right now. Unfortunately, I wish it didn't, but unfortunately, that's how it is, saving costs and everything.
Oh, by the way, you signed up is what my producer is telling me right now. You're listening. You're watching BattleHawk Live right here in a joint production with One Universal Production and the In the Zone Network. I'm the A-Train, Arlington Lane, and beside me is XFL STL contributor Will Freeman. Dirty is out on assignment today, and all I know right now is it is a good day to be a BattleHawk fan, or better yet, it's a good day to be a St. Louis sports fan.
Oh, yes.
You got the Cardinals coming up on tomorrow, and then you got the Blues is kicking into high gear with their season, and then you got MLS will be coming up in a couple of years.
And also the Billikens will start be playing soon.
Exactly, and then coming in February, the BattleHawks will be taking the field. I'm looking forward to getting a chance to I would love to sit down with Jonathan Hayes, man, and probably it's going to happen more after the draft.
Yeah.
And then, once you get the rosters together and want to sit down and see where his mindset goes for 2020 and hopefully bringing an XFL championship here to the city of St. Louis.
Yes. Along with the other coaches as well, I would like to interview his brother, Jay Hayes, who's his defensive coordinator.
Right.
And to get his mentality, because since he's was a D-line coach for NFL, what type of mentality does he do for a defensive coordinator? Not to mention Tim Lewis, the former Birmingham coach, and most definitely former St. Louis Ram, Oz Hakeem, who is the wide receivers coach.
Man, you know what? And it's a great time to be a part of St. Louis sports history. And, this is a thing that we continually preach about, is that this league is real, it's legit, and I can't wait for it, man. It's like every time I look at your BattleHawks hat, Will, it's like I get more and more excited for what's about to come in February.
And speaking of the hat, it's got the logo there, which is nice. And one thing that I liked is, look behind it. You actually got the name.
You see the BattleHawks behind it. And folks probably can't see it, but it does say BattleHawks and it does say XFL. So it lets you know that it is XFL brand. And so one of the big things was Dirty told me a story was when he was out last week. He told me that a couple of fans had went up to him and said that they seen the show. So I'm like, Dirty is a celebrity, folks, and they like the cacaw. They was actually doing it He was on a cruise.
Yeah.
And who knows what may have happened on that cruise, why he's not here tonight. But when they were on the cruise, somebody was out yelling, "Caw!" I'm like, are we serious? Like, the people are really embracing not just the BattleHawks, but they're embracing the XFL as a whole.
Yeah, even this morning on 101 ESPN Permits, it said that the XFL is creating and the BattleHawks are buzzing in St. Louis right now, along with everything else that's going on.
As they should. And that's what. I'm looking forward to seeing this mascot for the BattleHawks.
Yeah.
And from what I've been told, there's going to be 2 of them.
Yeah, because a few weeks ago, I actually kind of helped tag Kurt Huggins because the bird sanctuary was offering for one of their birds to be the live animal mascot for the team.
Yeah, that'd be pretty freaking cool, you ask me, man.
Yeah.
And they really want to be behind this. And that's what I'm saying. Be behind this. Not just the BattleHawks, but any other team that's in the other 7 cities in the XFL. This is something huge, man. This is history in the making. This is totally different. A lot of people are going to keep being naysayers about it, but that's okay. This league will succeed.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I think it can last 5 seasons. It can go beyond that after the 5. So only time will tell. I can't wait to get started. I'm looking forward to this jersey. Speaking of jerseys, and we're going to get back to that in a second. My thing was there was a leakage.
Yeah, for the Tampa Bay Vipers jersey.
And I looked at that jersey, and I'm sitting back, and I was saying, you can go to XFL Newsroom, XFL Board, XFL News Hub. That they all been following the story as well. Shout out to everybody in the XFL community, even those that are on the Discord over at the XFL Newsroom as well. Shout out to all you guys, man. I'm very proud of you that you continuously being on the ball for getting ready for this 2020 season. My thing is, if that's gonna be the look for the away jersey, I mean, it's a basic color, and I don't have anything wrong with it.
Nah, neither do I, though. I'm thinking they're probably going to have 3 jerseys, at least home, away, and maybe an alternate
jersey. Exactly. That's just something I want.
Because one of the things that was also announced this week with trademarks that some of the teams had secondary logos. And,
that's right.
And so far, we don't know what the BattleHawks secondary logo is yet. So that's going to be quite interesting.
Hey, folks, if you are watching the show right now, have you put in for your season ticket deposits? And I want to know right now, how deep are you with the XFL? Is it something that you're like, you know what? I'm all in for this. I can't wait. As a matter of fact, one of our callers, he had called in and he actually reached out to me on social media, and he said he can't wait for the New York Guardians season. And after he's a naysayer, man, and it's something special about this league now where I think naysayers are going to change over and be supporters of the league.
Just out of curiosity, was he a Jets fan? Just out of curiosity?
No, he's not.
I was just checking because that's kind of obvious to think about.
One of the guests that I had on the Alliance XFL show, Peter Schwartz. Peter Schwartz is all in for this.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter was a former New York, New Jersey hitman radio announcer.
Mm-hmm.
So when they found out about the second incarnation, he's like, yeah, I'm in for this again. I'll do it again. Hopefully they give him an opportunity where they get a chance to do that. He said, Jared said, I'll be living in South Carolina. I'm hoping to make a watch party from my city. Hey, Jared, I would love for you to actually come out and check out one of the games as well. That'd be pretty awesome, if you got a chance to experience an XFL game. I know you said for a long time that you're a big Bronco fan. And so I feel bad for what's going on there, but I'm glad that you are setting yourself apart and say, hey, I'm ready to look at the XFL as well. So big ups to you guys there, especially in the chat room there. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move over a little bit, get back a bit to more BattleHawk news. Another thing that came out at the meet and greet was the fact that there will be high school bands at the game. They'll be doing it in each corner of the dome. So 4 high school bands, and they got about selective areas. I think one was Metro East, They're looking for a Metro East school that'll be participating, a St. Louis County school, a St. Louis City school, and I can't remember what the other one was. Was it St. Charles County? And they all be in those areas of the so north, south, east, and west is what's being told to me. And as there it is, you can see the Viper jersey. I don't see anything wrong.
Though apparently, for what I saw from the Twitter thing, the guy that apparently leaked it apparently had a LinkedIn, but it's disappeared. It had some association with Adidas, so I don't know if that's true or not. So,
and you know what? As we
it's hard to tell.
As we getting closer and closer to it, everything is going to have to be tightened up. You know what I mean? And so, how you doing, John? John Turner.
Hey, John.
From a football world. I love your shows, man. They're quite entertaining, man. I will say that. So if you do get a chance, go to the football world discussion group. They talk about everything football over there. And so when him and Stacy get together, it is quite entertaining, and I love it. But that Viper jersey that we had just saw on the screen, I know when you get news, you want to leak it and let people see it, but there also are people that want to see the league destroyed. So they're going to do anything in their power to make sure that doesn't happen. So even with the mistakes, you gotta cut some slack a bit. That's how I'm looking at it. Cut some slack, So don't be upset with stuff is happening and it's not looking official. Stuff like that is going to happen.
Yeah, I would say on that picture there of the jersey, I did like the font of the numbers though.
Yes, I'm pretty proud of that. It's better than that jersey that Dirty always talks about. The numbers up here at the top. Yeah. I don't like that. And then you got the sword coming from the helmet down to the shirt. No, thank you. But what it's letting me know is I am looking forward to seeing what the BattleHawk jersey could be. I got a call on the line right now. We're gonna get that together. And call, you're live.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yeah, I'm calling in to get on the show.
Yes, who am we speaking with?
Yeah, this is Brett Tierce. I'm with 100% XFL.
Hey, Brett, how you doing tonight, man?
Oh, I'm doing. How about you?
Doing pretty good. What you got for us tonight?
Oh, man, I'm just going to call in and say what's up, see if y'all had any other information or anything y'all want to talk about or ask me. We've got a little new Facebook, XFL Facebook group we started a couple months ago. Didn't know if you'd give us a shout-out or not.
Yeah, and you know what? 100% XFL is a great group if you haven't checked them out. And Brett, you keep on doing the great work that you are doing, man. So, hey, man, we appreciate the call tonight. Okay, so Brett, hey, keep listening in and keep watching us here at BattleHawk Live for sure. All right, so hey, we take them all, man. We want all the calls, man. Especially shout out to Brett. Okay, so definitely we got that going on tonight, and other news that if you have other ideas, if you do have ideas for the XFL STL, make sure that you go to fan info at xfl-stl.com. They're looking for all ideas that could benefit the experience for XFL games at the Dome. And so I'm looking forward to that.
They'll take any type of ideas. It might not go through, but they're happy to hear them.
I would say be open about it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. See, Brett got his love here, man. See, in the chat room, for sure. Also, the biggest news that did come out from the past week, there was some leakage that came out that Oliver Luck did send out to players that when the draft is going to be, when the mini camps are going to be, when the actual training camp, and then the big scrimmage, they're going to do scrimmages with all the teams in one area. That's going to happen in January. Similar to what the Alliance did this past January, what they did was they had it in a secluded area where just few media got a chance to see it, got to see the rules up close. It was no game where it was televised or streamed, but they're kind of doing the same thing what the Alliance did there, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. It actually wasn't a bad idea, of course. If was it the training camp was in San Antonio for the
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
And I believe for the XFL it's Houston.
Speaking of tailgating, tailgating in St. Louis. Oh, it's going to happen, folks. It's going to happen. We got some news coming up that we really cannot touch on right now. But stay tuned. I guarantee you're going to like it here, especially here in St. Louis when it comes to tailgating, folks. I cannot wait to get this news. I wish I could tell it tonight, but folks have told me I have to keep it to myself until the timing is right. See, the same thing like what the XFL has been doing for the last few weeks and months about their news. I got to do the same thing with that. So tailgating, I will tell you this, tailgating is coming. Okay? That's all I can say about it at this time. But tailgating will be coming. And then we'll have a spot where you can check out all the away games and have a watch party with us with XFL STL. So stay tuned. We'll have all that together. Speaking of which, the draft will be a snake draft. Let me say that. And that begins on October the 15th and the 16th. Now, what's been told is that the first round will be streamed. Okay, first round will be streamed. There are going to be a ton of rounds. I think we're looking at 70 rounds. Because, I mean, that's something that, you got to do that, especially with a brand new league. You got to start off with a ton of rounds.
Yeah. Then I'm assuming the progress will be updated online somehow.
Yes. And you know what? Me personally, I want to see updates as I go along. Yeah, and so I think we possibly might do like a draft after party of sorts. Kind of recapping everything that we have. We're working that out right now. So stay tuned within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, probably find out who the BattleHawks pick every round. I'll try to quickly figure out find a picture of the player, find what position, college, all that stuff, and make a post every time they make a pick, or who knows. That's one thing I need to find out. How much time does each team get to do for each pick?
You only get 2 minutes.
Oh, boy.
You got to keep this thing going, man. You only get 2 minutes for it, so you got to keep the party going, and you never know who's going to be picked. So many invites, so many people, so many invites. I feel bad for those that don't get picked up because you're only going to have 52. It's only 52 players per roster.
Yes, if I remember correctly, I think there's 42 regular players, and there's the practice squad, and let's not forget about Team 9.
Right.
Team 9, because there will be some players that will be available for Team 9 because how physical football is, there's going to be injuries. Looks what's happening to the NFL right now.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Phone lines open as always, 314-920-3736. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a bit of a break. We'll come back with more of BattleHawk Live. You stay tuned right after this. Hey.
I've got some special memories. They're all including you and me. You make me feel the love shine. And I'm with you and pretty wild. BFFs for life. Feel so good inside. I'm yours and you're mine. Always there, always with you, yeah. You light up my days, make tears go away. Sun shines on my face when you're here, when you're with me, yeah. You know what makes me scared at night? We can stay inside for days. Sometimes we stay awake too late. Ooh, we tell each other everything. The secret's so embarrassing. We couldn't tell nobody else. That's why we keep it to ourselves. BFFs for life. Feel so good inside. I'm yours and you're mine. Always there, always with you, yeah. You light up my days, make tears go away. Sun shines on my face. When you're here, when you're with me, yeah. You and me and you in a teenage dream. Living free, coming through like it's supposed to be. In a teenage dream.
Back on this edition of BattleHawk Live, the A Train, Arlington Lane. Joining me is XFL STL contributor Will Freeman. Dirty is on assignment tonight. And come back from the break, I want to talk a bit about, for the BattleHawk fans, it's all about you for right now. Hey, the Dome is ready to go. It's ready, folks. Like, now the field is ready. They just got to do some fine-tuning to it. But for play, they're ready to go. And so it's going to be new paint. So I'm very curious to see how the look of the Dome, especially the field. I want to see what the logo on the BattleHawks is, and I want to see the actual BattleHawk logo and where that's going to be out on the field. So, but I've been told the Dome is ready to go. And so I can't wait, man, because and they're going to project it onto the ceiling. So interesting to see how that one's going to play out. I'm curious. How about yourself, Will?
Pretty curious. Like, I know that back in the early Rams league, they actually projected what station the football game was being broadcast. They had Fox, CBS. Don't remember NBC, but it can be done. It can be done.
Yeah. So seeing the game out on the projectors, that's going to be pretty good. That's going to be pretty awesome to check out. And I am excited because I thought it was going to take some time with the Dome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's going to be very tedious about it because of possible other events, that could take place inside of the convention center. But looks like they're ready to go.
Yeah. The only thing, if we remember when the lease was publicized, the one thing I'm mostly looking forward to, because it wasn't that great when the Rams were playing, is the Wi-Fi, because that was one of the things.
Oh man, that has to be addressed immediately.
Because that was one of the things that the XFL wanted the Dome to do, not any redesign or anything, just to make sure that the Dome has Wi-Fi capabilities, because pretty much when you're in there, your phone was pretty much dead.
And so also told that the Wi-Fi has been updated inside of the Dome. So I hope they're using Spectrum. I want them, instead of going up with AT&T, go with Spectrum. I guess I hope they don't come after us for us mentioning them, but you know what I mean, for Wi-Fi purposes. You know what the best one is at this point here in St. Louis. All right, let's move over to got some news over from the News Hub, and they had some of the best Twitter. I guess they did the XFL team rankings with the team's Twitter accounts, and you see that's from over at the News Hub. So, and they started from worst to best. So at number 8, believe it or not, it is not the LA Wildcats. It's the Tampa Bay Vipers. And I can understand why it's not so hot. You haven't heard a lot that's going on over there in Tampa Bay.
And if I If I heard like, because they did a thing from with the XFL store, like what products, and Tampa Bay is one of the lower selling of merchandise for of all the XFL teams, along with LA, if I remember correctly.
And from what I also seen around on social media, they say if they could substitute a team out, a city that out for another one, which one would it be? And the ones they said was Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay didn't deserve to be in this list, but they're here now. But unfortunately, right now they're at number 8. At number 7, looking at the Dallas Renegades.
That's surprising.
That is a shock. And Dirty had his opportunity to be on Busted Open Radio and talk with the guys, Dave LaGreca and Mark Henry, and actually made a bet with them. The bet was, for those that, if you haven't seen in one of the past shows, that if Dallas has a better record than the St. Louis BattleHawks, then Dirty has to get a tattoo on his ass.
The Renegade logo, if I remember correctly.
That's correct. Yes, he had to put a Renegade logo on. Oh, God. So even with that said, we'll have to wait till what the teams look like until we want to get nervous or not. But for them at number 7, that's kind of surprising, and they have been getting a little bit with some news. Over at number 6 is the New York Guardians, and lately they have started getting back into it. I saw just recently on Instagram and Twitter, Janet Duke of the team president for the New York Guardians been putting out some pictures, getting herself ready for her venue, which is MetLife Stadium over in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Hey, big ups to everybody that is joining us in the chat room tonight. That was, I guess, number 6 is. I'm shocked because those 3 teams. Well, I know Tampa Bay hasn't really done much, but New York and Dallas, they have done a bit more with Twitter. Since the name was announced, and so I'm just surprised by that. So New York Guardians is right now at number 6. See, as you can see on the screen, they did do the Never Forget 9/11/2001. So big ups for them on that. Number 5 is the Houston Roughnecks, and lately with them, they have been doing a lot of meet and greets where you got a chance. I will say this. This is what getting me a little bit perturbed. Houston got to meet the entire coaching staff. If you were there for that event, so Stefan, he can definitely vouch for it. You got a chance to see the entire coaching staff that's for coming up for the Houston Roughnecks. I'm ready to see ours live and in person. Got a chance to see it yet, but it's coming. Let's go over to number 4. Would you believe it? It's us, the St. Louis BattleHawks. Number 4. And we got the most followers, but it's quite interesting, because there have been a lot of BattleHawk fans, people from St. Louis is like, well, why they have not put a lot of news and stuff out there.
Yeah, because usually we hear it from the Kurt Hungzenzer's Twitter page first, then. Yep. So they need to start maybe being more cooperative and stuff.
And so it's exactly. And my producer had just informed us that they are the only Twitter following with over 20,000 followers. So, but I think from that standpoint, and you can either agree or disagree with it, Will, is that even though they got the amount of following, it's because we want football back here in St. Louis.
We do.
But the thing was, come on, we just gonna have to be honest here. They weren't doing a lot on Twitter to get, more fans in St. Louis engaged. And that was a problem. So now they're starting to do that more with these happy hours. But even though they got the big following, engage more. If you sitting back saying that you're a humongous big sports town, as we've stated early on in the program, now you want to engage them. Okay? 20,000 followers, engage those. Because we want to see more coming out. We want to see what our coaches are doing. We want to get a chance to meet them and greet them. And then we will. It's just I want to talk from the fan perspective. which was what we are. We're fans here.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to understand is that bring more to the table. And I think we're going to get that after the draft.
Yeah, probably because right now the coaches are scouting the players.
That's right.
And probably still designing the playbooks, both offense and defensive.
And I will applaud the BattleHawks for their Friday night high school events that they do.
I think they're the only ones out of all of them that are doing it. I am not too sure, but
and that makes it even more surprising that the fan engagement is at number 4 for St. Louis.
Yep.
I'm not going to be upset about that. I want to be, but I'm not, because now it's starting to get more engaging, and that's what I applaud. Now, I think what everybody's going to be pissed off about is the person that's above us, the team that's above us, and that's those LA Wildcats. Yeah, it's them.
I think that's mostly due to their president, Heather.
And she has been pushing. And by all means, she has to.
Yeah.
Because even though St. Louis don't have a football team, LA got 2.
Actually, let's say 3. Count USC as their other professional.
Then make it a 4th. Because now LA is like considered the bottom feeders. And so, I mean, come on, let's be real with it. If you look at it from engagements, LA is not great.
Mm-mm.
But Heather is making sure that she gets that out there. And if they have to surpass the Chargers and the Rams, by all means, actually, I wouldn't be happy with that. You know what I mean? All right, and the real fans would be over with the Wildcats. I mean, I'm just saying. So they've gotten a lot of opportunities where you got a chance to meet Coach Winston Moss. You know, a lot of Q&As, you know, because they want to learn about the game just like we do.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I'm not a fan of LA, that should be our actual rival, you know, East-West. You know, I know they said Tampa was our rival, but Tampa's not really doing much, so we're going to keep banging the drum that –
You're going to have to explain to me off air how that's our natural rival in the division, because I still –
And that was because of some some mess that some people got with fans.
Okay.
What was that I see there? See there? And when you get an opportunity, it says that what? Oh, I'm trying to find it now. Darn Twitter. Oh, it said they are interacting with other sports teams in the area, such as the Sparks and the Rams. Here in St. Louis, we don't want that to happen, honestly. I'd rather be the Chargers than the Rams. But they're looking for some support. You know, of course, the Lakers, the Kings are there, the Dodgers. They're big entities. They all know they should be the ones that should be over there helping out the Wildcats. You know, Dodger Stadium has one of the biggest venues. Staples Center is one of the largest, most expensive tickets in town. You know, you said about USC, you know, playing over at the Rose Bowl.
You could even add UCLA to it as well.
They just well, and they getting close, and they getting closer to 10,000. So, but they get a lot of followings themselves, you know. And you know what's big surprise to me when I got a chance to speak it over with Fred Rogan, which you can go check over at AllianceXFL.com. You can check it out right now. Fred said that the biggest group to nab, if you want a big audience, you got to get the gamers. If you can get the gamers to come and check out these games, you pretty much got them locked in.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and big ups. I want to say big ups to indie companies, Canuck Play and Axis Football and Doug Flutie's Maximum Football. Their games that just came out. I'm celebrating indies. I'm not celebrating the ones that everybody knows. That's because you already know what they're about. But they're big. And so I want to celebrate them because you get an opportunity to do some stuff that you may not get an opportunity to play with. It's something totally different. I'm going to check it out myself.
Yeah, especially with the new college Doug Flutie's Max Football. And I found out, you know how many people made that game?
How many?
3.
That's it?
3. Just 3 guys.
And those, and I think all 3 were working at some major company.
I think they used to work for one of them used to work for Electronic Arts before they are what they are.
And so yeah, so that's big, man. And you know, I like celebrating any stuff because that's what the XFL is pretty much is going to be independent. You know what I'm saying? It's independently ran. So I'm gonna celebrate whenever, even if that means gamers and like Fred said, getting to the gamers, have them coming out to the games, the younger people. Say, hey, mom, dad, I want to go to a game. I want to go to a football game, and you get it for cheap. Come on, man, take me to an XFL game. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't see how that could pretty much go wrong. You know what I mean?
Nope, can't.
All right, let's move over to number 2. Believe it or not,
Number 3. Oh, you said number 2. Sorry.
Yeah, the 3 was the Wildcats. 2 is the Seattle Dragons.
I thought they would be number 1. To be quite
their campaign that they've done lately has actually been pretty good. You know what I mean? Seeing a lot more fans over in Quest Field CenturyLink Field. They're wearing their Dragons gear. And so I applaud them.
And their president is working hard, like really hard.
Almost loose lips of sorts. Almost loose lips, man. So yeah, not too many times we're gonna give credit to Ryan Gustafson, but we are gonna do it on this show tonight. And probably the last time we'll do it. But he's been doing an excellent job getting more interaction. And I would have thought that the Wildcats would have been over them, but apparently that's not the case. They're embracing the Wildcats, and even Marshawn Lynch has embraced the Wildcats. The Dragons. Good grief. Even Marshawn Lynch has embraced the Seattle Dragons.
Yeah.
So, that's something that's key. I would love to see Marshawn in some capacity with this league.
Well, he's already doing stuff. He if you don't know this, he's actually owning a new indoor football league team right now.
Right.
So
now, the biggest let me see, he said they got 13,000 followers. And one of the biggest things, if you look at it, you can scroll down for me real quick, Mr. Producer Man. Is there it is right there. He does a live weekly at noon Pacific called A Seat at the Table. And just this past episode, he had the head coach of the Seattle Dragons, Jim Zorn. And it's getting a following, man. People are tuning into this. So it's pretty freaking awesome what he's doing right now. And Kurt, you should be very jealous right now. You should be really jealous at this point. You gotta come on the show, man. This is your opportunity. Come on the XFL STL show so that way you can surpass Ryan. All right, this is your opportunity. And of course, number 1, the team that we did not talk about, but we are talking about right now is the DC Defenders. I can't believe it. I really can't.
They have been the most active from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And I know that their president has been going to a lot, speaking at public events, not just meet and greets.
Yep.
So that might be one of the reasons they're on top.
And they're embracing DC sports as a whole. St. Louis has as well. But look, right now the Mystics, their WNBA team is in the WNBA finals. They put out GIFs all the time talking about, hey, I got a Friday move, Friday feeling. You know what I mean? And that is what the league is about, and people are embracing that in DC.
And I would not be surprised some sour Redskins fans are following them.
As they should. But that's the thing. This whole XFL fan community is huge. It's getting bigger by the day. I think the XFL page itself is over 120,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that it's worth noting.
And I think once we get closer, that will grow bigger and bigger, especially when they start televising games. Because I remember right after when the AAF first televised their games, their following grew pretty quickly like that. And then, unfortunately, they had that weird TV schedule and had some games on Bleacher Report, that kind of stuff.
That won't be the case this go around, folks. You'll get your opportunity to either watch it on regular television, over-the-air television, or you'll watch it on cable. You got it on ABC, you'll have it on Fox, and you'll have it on ESPN.
and Fox Sports 1, I think that's the
Yep.
other one.
And I think ESPN2 is going to get involved, and Fox Sports 1 and 2, like you said, Sports 1, Fox Sports 2 is also going to get involved in this.
Mm-hmm.
So that lets you know that this is for real. They're not playing around. And honestly, personally, if I want a play-by-play guy, as we're getting ready to wrap up the show tonight, I want to see Gus Johnson as the head play-by-play guy for the XFL.
Yeah.
I would love to see, and for the Fox games. And you see it right there on the screen, ABC, ESPN, Fox Sports 1. There's more. But for the Fox games, give me Gus Johnson all day, every day. I don't need nobody else. For sure.
I just have a feeling we're probably going to get some college sportcasts for some reason.
I see that. I can't think of his name to
and Tim
save
Brando
me.
probably because
I would love Brando to do it. I would love Tim Brando to do it.
because he said he has interest doing it. So I'm pretty sure he's probably like trying to say like, hey, can I do some of this or not?
Give me Tim Brando, man. If you get an opportunity, I want to see that happen. There's a young gentleman, and his first name is Adam, and I can't think of his last name to save me. He does college basketball for women. I would love to see him go over and do some football himself. He could do well for ESPN games. Believe it or not, Pam Ward over at ESPN. I would like to see her in some capacity doing some
I'm
games.
kind of interested like what female announcers they're going to get.
Yeah, because they want it to be diverse.
And also the sideline reporting as well. That's another big question. Who'd be the sideline reporters as well?
From what I saw, I think it's Diana Rossini over at ESPN. She'll be working. They just renewed her contract a couple months back. They're looking at her to do some XFL action. So then we don't know if that's sideline reporting or that's doing the studio shows or whether she's in the booth. We don't know yet, but I'll be interested to see what comes off from that.
So I probably shouldn't expect like Aaron Andrews or Pam Grier to do anything.
No. Maybe. Let me think. Aaron Andrews is over at Fox, and Pam Oliver is over at Fox.
Why did I say Grier?
First thing that comes to mind when you think of a Pam. I understand. That's not a problem. But Pam Oliver, they would be, would they bring over anybody from the NFL side to do these shows? Like Chris Myers, he does a lot of games that they do on Channel 2 that they do coverage. Him and is John Lynch still doing anything? I can't think of it right now. I think
he's with the Niners.
That's right. He's the front office, right? Okay.
And Moose, he's still announcing games that he's the
Yeah, Moose is about to move, right? So, and he won't have any opportunities to do the games himself either because he'll be in the front office.
He probably knows some people,
right? He'll be in Dallas working. You know what I mean? So, I think what's going to be the crazy thing is what the game itself is going to look like. We didn't get into the rules tonight, and we will on the next show. But I think one of the big things I'm looking for is this lateral pass.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how that portrays, and then of course my favorite is the overtime. with Dirty always says all 88 men on the field, and it's going to be 44 men. You got one side with 11 against 11, and another side with 11 against 11. So I'm looking forward to see how all of that plays out.
I'm just glad with the XFL, the kickoff won't be irrelevant.
Yes, yeah, and with the halo rule for punts,
mm-hmm.
That's going to be something where you get an opportunity to see. You have to wait till the ball is caught before you take off. That for kickoffs, all that's being taken place right now. Also, the final thing is in November, there will be a Spring League showcase. That'll take place in Miami, November 12th through the 15th.
And they just had one last week, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they were doing it for, I thought it was with the executives and stuff, getting it all together for broadcast purposes.
Yeah.
So, players, if you looking to showcase some more talent, the Spring League is there for you. Make sure that you seize your opportunity. I want to thank Will Freeman coming on board today. Will, you got any last words before you go, man?
Not really, but I'm hoping we're getting close to the draft. We're probably going to get some more news probably next week's show.
That's right, man, as we always do. All right. And, of course, recapping 15th to 16th will be the draft, the XFL draft. It's going to be a snake draft, so that means that whoever is the last place in the first round will get the very first pick in the second round. I like that idea. Kind of like a fantasy football ordeal.
Yeah, I hope that like we get maybe I don't know if they'll do it. Do a live draft lottery. What would be the draft selection?
Yeah, and that's the other thing I want to know is what the how are they going to do the draft selection? It's going to be at random. So yeah, and that's what the NBA does with the draft lottery. You know,
I just hope the BattleHawks don't do last. Well, actually, that might be good for the
second round. You know what I mean? If we get the last pick, you get the first pick in the second round. And who knows who could that be? Might be Jeremiah Spicer.
And I'm pretty sure we will not see any trades. Pretty much.
There will be no trades or no free agency either, especially not for this very first season. All right. Again, Will, thank you for joining me. Big ups to the producer in the background and cameraman. You know, they like to be nameless here tonight. And I am the A-Train Arlington Lane. We're signing off for this edition. And make sure that you check out everything over at One Universal Production. Check out the DCS show on Monday nights. You're going to check out the One Nation TV, One Network Nation, or what is it? One Nation Network TV. I'm getting it right. Linda, don't kill me. All right. That's on Tuesday nights from 7 to 9. And on Wednesday nights, you got the MMWA show from 8 to 10. And folks, we're actually going to be moving the XFL STL show to Thursday nights. And time release will be coming at a later date. So for myself, the A-Train Arlington Lane, Will Freeman, and all of us here at the XFL STL on One Universal Production and the In the Zone Network, signing off for another edition of BattleHawk Live. We will catch you on next week.